Today I feel a little bit like an amateur walker. I thought, oh, it doesn't look that cold. It's like 3 degrees. I mean, it's not even freezing. But my hands are freezing. And I'm walking around holding a metal pole, which isn't helping matters. And I could do with a better hat. About to go over a railway bridge. Looks like we got some steps. I mean, look at this. Just a lovely ridge to walk along. Well, I'm in Croydon, Hamsey Green to be exact, and today I am doing section 5 of the London Loop from Hamsey Green to Coulsdon. Some lovely places here. The Happy Valley might be my favourite, and it's a grey, horrible day, so what better day to go to the Happy Valley. Oh my goodness, it is cold today. I didn't quite realise this. I should wear gloves or a hat. I'm just not prepared. Anyway, I'm sort of powering ahead. I guess this is Hamsey Green. Yeah, I've got a walking group. Oh, they're going a different way. I kind of realised when I entered Hamsey Green that it was like bang on 10 o'clock. So there's a big walking group just starting off. So I thought they thought I was going to maybe gate crash their walk, but no. But I thought they'd be behind me the whole time, but they're not. That's all right. Here we are in Hamsey Green. It's lovely. You know what, the idea of an amateur walker is like a ridiculous concept, you know, but today I feel a little bit like an amateur walker. I thought, oh, it doesn't look that cold. It's like 3 degrees. I mean, it's not even freezing. But my hands are freezing, and I'm walking around holding a metal pole, which isn't helping matters, and I could do with a better hat. I'm wearing sensible shoes and the socks are good, but apart from that, I feel like an amateur walker today, especially after I've seen all these other walking groups and they look far better prepared than me. But at the moment I'm sort of on my own walking down this lovely little path. There's a grazing field just off to our side there. Oh, and what's this? Looks like a milestone. That's quite cool. Yeah. Anyway. Just taking that view for a second. Gangs of walkers on my back, but just into that valley. I mean, that's just tremendous. I'm putting you right up. This is a little bit of a steep bit here. Thankfully, it's not too muddy, therefore not too slippery. But we're heading down at a fair pace. And a nice little gate to go through. Right, wow. Lovely valley, which obviously we're gonna go down and go up. I've mentioned, so we're heading towards this quarry here, and there's something about this valley. Years ago I used to work on cruise ships, and we spent a lot of time in Alaska, and when the weather's like this, and I don't know, it's just something, it just reminds me of Alaska. It's got that kind of feeling. If it's grey and misty or a little bit drizzly, you just got a bit of wildlife. You know there's lots of wildlife nearby, but then there's this like industrial murmur in the background. It's just this little bit of Croydon, which feels a bit like Alaska. It's weird. It's weird how places sort of remind you of other places, different memories and things. But we are descending this grassy path and joining the bridleway up here. And look, oh, there's our old friend, the London Loop sign. These plants. Oh, the Coulsdon. Anyway, you know what it is? It reminds me of Alaska. Look at all this. It's this like industrial, light industrial kind of sites and railways. Railways remind me of Alaska. Railways and the cold. That's probably what it is. Anyway, that's quite a cool little railway bridge, and just sort of timed it nicely that a nice little southern train passed on by. Always nice to see a southern train running. Getting carried away by the little railway bridge, and missing out a point of interest. You got the quarry there, which we just come down from. There we go. Right, we are heading up this little hill here and into the woods, I believe. So, oh my gosh, looks like we got some steps to do. Where are we going? Kenley Common is where we're off to. There's like a little bit of a hill. Amazing view. Look at me procrastinating, not wanting to go up the steps. And nice little climb up these steps. Let's go a bit higher. We've got a City of London sign, and you might ask why there's a City of London own a park in Croydon. Okay, sort of got my breath back, and we're just going to answer the question of why there is a City of London that owns Kenley Common. Why is the City of London signs? You'll see them quite a bit around this area. You've got 4 Coulsdon Commons, Farthing Downs, Coulsdon Common, Kenley Common and Riddlesdown. So they were bought in 1883, and this was basically, you might think development and the loss of green spaces and everything like that is a modern problem, but clearly not. And the City of London just saw what was happening on the outskirts of Greater London and took action, and that is why an action that was, what, 150 years ago, we have this perfectly preserved green space, which is quite wonderful. And we have absolutely amazing views slowly appearing. Quite a cool looking tree up here. So just taking this diagonal path across this field. I think over there, is that Kenley? Oh no, we're still away from the aerodrome. I know it's close. Oh no, maybe. Yeah, the gliders, I think, sort of come over here. This is a sort of safe space for them to fly over. And it's over that way, I think. As far as I remember, let's check the map. We're not quite going to the edge of the aerodrome, but there's a nice little walk around Kenley Aerodrome, which is, it's quite fun to do. Lots of Second World War information, history and things worth investigating. If you want to make this leg a little bit longer, here's the perfect diversion for you. And you might see the odd glider go up as well. Just as we're passing Kenley Aerodrome, Kenley Airfield, whatever you want to call it, Aerodrome. I think it's quite nice. Just I did visit there last year when we were in a sort of semi-lockdown. You can go out and do things, but only meet one person kind of time. So I'm going to share a couple of those pictures right now. It looks like we are leaving Coulsdon Common. Kenley Common, Coulsdon Common. Are we leaving? So yeah, we are. Yep. There's our London, it's Cypronia. Well, barely leaving green area. But yeah, I'll share a couple of pictures. Obviously there were no flights, so we'd go in, so we were able to go on the airfield and take some pictures, which you, with the permission of the safety officer, I might add. So we did have permission to go on there and take some pictures, because it was confirmed there won't be any flights, otherwise it could be quite dangerous with the gliders, because they got cables and things flying all over the place. But yeah, and one of the most interesting things we found was a pillbox right in the middle of the airfield. It's quite hard to find unless you know what you're looking for. And we had a little look inside there with a 360 camera. There we go. That's all my knowledge of Kenley Airfield. Oh, we just turned off Hayes Lane and there was, I don't know, 20 yards of road there. Hello. Yeah, so there was like 20 yards of road there and no path. So just be wary of that. Also, no room for a parcel force delivery van and a regular white man van to pass each other easy either. So a parcel force van I just passed, nearly mounted up on the curb where I was standing, so just be wary. Although the dogs are friendly. Wow, look at this. This is a cool path. We're going to time lapse mode, I think. Passing across this little field. Three horses there, just hanging out. I remember now, last time I walked this, it was really muddy, and I think the worst bit's coming up. And up there, I think that it should still be there. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. There's an observatory, which is quite cool, which we're going to pass. That fox over there, just sitting there looking at me. All right, mate. Not quite a city fox, more like a suburban fox. Oh, anyway, here comes the Kenley Observatory. There you go. You didn't know Croydon had an observatory. We're kind of worried about light pollution and everything like that in London. It's nice that something like that can actually exist and have an astronomical society. If I might have said that word wrong. Anyway, I'm very aware we are on a public footpath surrounded by private land, and they've kind of made that quite clear with the signage. So I've located our next London Loop sign and we are powering on. Little country lane, still in Croydon. Kind of got to walk on the road because there's no path, so you might need to move out of the way for a couple of cars. So I did. Two people gave me a nice little wave, thank you. And the Audi just flew on. Speeding down 30, no, he was doing at least 40. Oh well. Oh wow. Okay. Here we go. It looks like we're heading across this main road. Past the more amazing trees into the woods. So we're now Coulsdon Common, now a City of London park common. We are now standing at the highest point on Coulsdon Common. Since the 18th century, this area has been home to not one but two working windmills. You are here, you're up, we've just come off, what's it, Styles Hill Road. And we're heading towards Fox Lane. Nice little sign, quite nice. New sign actually, that one. And yeah, Coulsdon Common is pretty awesome. There's our sign, there's our sign. Happy Valley. Let's get across this road without getting run over. So Fox Lane. Oh, there's a sign for the Fox Free House. No time for that today. Let's just go on the green. Or am I walking on the road? Oh my gosh, what have I done? Right. Oh. Fox Lane. Leading to Old Fox Lane. Leading to the Happy Valley. And there's this little football pitch down here, which I don't know, something about a thing. Something about football posts without nets. Seem a bit sad, sort of lonely. One looks like they look a bit sunken. But we got this little fountain right in the middle. I'm just cutting. I'm not going to go to the Foxes a bit early for a drink, but little fountain there. There we go. I can see signage across the way, so I'm just going to head in that direction, hoping it's the right direction. I feel like I want to get a photo right by one of these goalposts though. We are heading into the Happy Valley Park. Or there's the Downlands Circular Walk, I think I just saw signs for. Certainly a popular place for dog walking, as there's a little car park back there. But look at this lovely open space. We have to hyperlapse past all these dog walkers, as I'm very aware that I'm walking along with a big stick. Yeah. Now we're in the Happy Valley. I mean, look at this. In fact, you can see walkers on the ridge over there. It's a shame we got a murmur of something going on in the background, but it's quite spectacular. But let me put you all the way up. There's no more I can really say, except wow, I love this walk. I mean, even on a grey, cold day, kind of industrial works going on in the background, it's still an amazing place. And now we're heading on to a little bit more Happy Valley and then Devilsden Woods. Sounds exciting. We're going downhill, which means we'll be going up again soon. But that's fine. It's not immediately obvious that you have to kind of go across the valley and then up and then follow the tree line. It shows you read instructions like I did. I do occasionally from time to time. So you do end up on this ridge, which is quite lovely. And it looks like heading down. This is the edge of the Happy Valley, I think. There's our sign to Farthing Downs, 670 yards. But we are in Devilsden Woods. Horse riding is prohibited, but there are many wonderful walks to be had. That might make an interesting photo. Here we are, Farthing Downs and New Hill. There is like a tarmac path road and there's this little gravel path, so I recommend walking the gravel path. I think last time I was here it was really windy, but it's just lovely and still today. And there is an amazing view, so I'll put you up in the air. Just a lovely ridge to walk along. Farthing Downs, there's some burning going on over there, although it seems fairly official. I mean, it's such a hazy day, but you won't be able to make it out in video. You can see the mist just sort of passing by as you walk along. But it's, consider it's not much of a hill we're on, but it's just a nice little flat sort of runway. Oh, now I can smell that smoke and as well. It's lovely. So this sort of map thing shows everything on the viewpoints. This is one of those Millennium projects. That was unveiled by Councillor Mary Walker, Mayor of Croydon, 1st of October 2000. Erected to celebrate the Millennium by Coulsdon Millennium Partnership. There you go. This was 22 years ago, I suppose, but yeah, the millennium, for those of you who can remember it. There was lots of things like that happening. I won't talk about the big dome in the middle of London, but you know, there was some nice other projects, smaller projects, that are still here and do not need corporate sponsorship to keep going. But we are at the point where we've got this lovely signpost that shows us signs down to Coulsdon. Where else? Hooley, Coulsdon, Hooley, Charlton, Purley, and we're gonna just walk in this direction. I think, as you can see, Coulsdon slowly emerging. It feels like it's got foggier. I don't know what it was like here earlier, but all these houses over here sort of disappearing into fog. Well, I'm just leaving Ditches Lane along Farthing Commons, and heading down towards Coulsdon. I love the fact that it's so misty today that you can't, the sort of towers of Croydon are barely visible, and it just feels like a million miles from anywhere. We're just going into this little village or something, but you know, far from it. But we're heading down this path down into the valley there, and the train station will be my final stop. But I just thought I'd like to end this walk here. It really is. Let me just put you up one more time. There you go. That was section 5 of the London Loop, all the way from Hamsey Green to Coulsdon. Interesting, it's the first route I've done in this southern section that I actually had to get a bus to the start. All the other ones are quite near train stations, and I've only done like a small few sections, so that's the first one. So when I did section 4, I trained in and bussed out, and this way I bussed in from West Croydon. But yeah, that's the end of it. Let's do a time lapse. I'll finish off. Let's do a little time lapse just down to the station.